Subscribe to Books on Toast or your significant other will suddenly propose a polyamorous relationship. Out of nowhere. New review format. Yay! Today we're going to take two books and make them go head to head with each other. So we're going to take two very popular literary romances and compare them to each other and tell you the best way to read them and also which one of them is the better read. In focus today are Call Me By Your Name by Andre Aciman and Sally Rooney's Booker long-listed book, Normal People. What is Call Me By Your Name all about? Call Me By Your Name is an intense summer romance between two men, Elio and Oliver, set in the 80s against the backdrop of an idyllic Italian village. What is Normal People about? Normal People is about two really fucked up individuals falling for each other and making each other more fucked up while also sort of making each other less fucked up. I don't know how to explain this. You have to sort of read the book to get it. Their names are Marion and Connell's mom works for Marion's mother as the cleaning lady. Call Me By Your Name is set in Italy, and I have taken a 15-minute long course of Italian in Duolingo, so now I am what they call an experte. Normal People is set in Sligo, in Ireland. The reading experience. So before Books on Toast, I used to believe that only those books that you can really read quickly, the ones that have you hooked on each page are worth reading. But now that I am older and wiser and more experienced, I know that there are different ways to read books, which means that some books have to be downed like cheap beer, but some books have to be sipped slowly, like the whiskey you sold your grandmother for. And both ways of reading are A-okay. Honestly, I would recommend both Call Me By Your Name and Normal People. And even though essentially they are both romances, they are as different from each other as chalk and cheese, or like I said, beer and whiskey. And both need to be enjoyed for different reasons. In Normal People, time leaps ahead like an obstacle race runner, and its feet touch the ground only for significant moments in our protagonists' lives. So things move forward very fast, and you cover a really long period of time between these two. So they're years from school till they're almost done with college. And in Ireland, apparently, that's a really long time. In Call Me By Your Name, time stands still. Imagine yourself in a little berm, that's the word he uses, berm, in Italy. Gentle breeze is blowing, carrying with itself the smell of apricots. Or shall I say apricots? Don't at me. Ask Andre Aciman what that's all about. Both Normal People and Call Me By Your Name do a really good job of translating longing. You know how you are in the throes of that first teenage crush? You know, when someone doesn't reply to you or doesn't acknowledge you when you want them to so badly. If you are young when you read either of these books, you will find yourself painfully etched in its pages. And if you're older, then you're just going to be like, I was such a chutia when I was a kid. Call Me By Your Name is clearly the whiskey that I'm talking about in this video. Each sentence written by Andre Aciman is masterful, and it deserves to be read and reread until it's sort of a part of you, I personally just wish someone would pin me down with words the way he does with Oliver. It's his personality, but somehow distilled to letters. Oof, I cannot really explain how good his sentences are. Here's an example. What had been in my head for so long would now be out in the real world, no longer afloat in my forever land of ambiguities. I felt like someone entering a tattoo parlor and taking a last, long look at his bare left shoulder. Normal People is like cheap beer, but in the best possible way. It shows us how we are all fucked up in our own unique way. It also exposes self-discovery for the sham that it really is. We all discover that we don't really like ourselves for who we are, but that we have to accept ourselves anyway. Both books have their flaws. Normal People is utterly depressing. It makes you feel like life is shit and everything is hopeless, and yet we must soldier on anyway because what else is there to do? Call Me By Your Name, on the other hand, is really frustrating. There are times when you just want to shake Elio and be like, भोसड़ी के कितना रो रहा है, जाके उसको बोलते कैसा लग रहा है, अगर हाँ तो हाँ, ना तो ना, ये क्या कब से रंडी रोना चल रहा है बेंचोत. However, both books are absolute masterpieces and they deserve to be read. They will enchant you and disenchant you in equal measure, and they will both get under your skin. Here's our suggestion, something unconventional. Read both books at the same time. Read one chapter from Call Me By Your Name, then read one chapter from Normal People. Normal People will give you the pace that Call Me By Your Name lacks, and Call Me By Your Name will give you the joy that Normal People lacks. This is like Dil To Pagal Hai, the book version. Somewhere, some book is made for the book that you're reading right now. You'll like these books if you like The Guernsey Literary and Pareto Peel Society by Marianne Schaeffer and Anne Barrows, Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami, and The Fault in Our Stars by that guy who wrote all those young adult books that made us cry. I give both these books 5 Anuya hearts each. I hope you liked this video. Watch it again if you like it a lot. Share it with your friends, especially with those people that you don't want to have polyamorous relationships with. Also, leave your comments in the section, whether you read the books separately or you read them together. We want to know what your experience was like. And also subscribe to Books on Toast because please, we tell you to. And then call me by your name. Bye.